and welcome inside the kitchen. Okay, so naan bread, a lovely bread, great for sopping up those juices of a curry, and that is what we're going to make today. This is the first time I've made this. My husband is normally the one that makes these for us, so fingers crossed mine come out better than his. Couple of cups of flour, salt, sugar, and yeast, and water is all you need. The yeast we are using is a fast-acting yeast. It just goes straight into the dry ingredients and it's activated once you add the liquid. If you don't have fast-acting yeast, use your regular yeast and just leave it off to the side for a couple of minutes just to start the activation process of the yeast. To start with, we're just going to combine all the dry ingredients. So it is 2 cups of flour, and we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar. Next in, a teaspoon of salt. And last but not least, a teaspoon of fast-acting yeast. We're just going to stir these very quick just to make sure that everything is distributed throughout the flour nice and even. Okay, so our dry ingredients are completely combined. I have a cup of water here. We're going to add this about a 1/4 cup at a time. It's always easier to add more liquid than take it away or start adding more flour. So a little drop at a time, stir it in and keep going. Alrighty, so I've been slowly adding the water. I've still got a little bit left, but this dough has come together quite nicely here. We're going to knead this for about 5 or 6 minutes. So my dough is still a little sticky. I am going to add ever such a small amount of flour. I'm just going to pop a tiny little bit into my hand and we'll just incorporate that. Okay, so that little bit of extra flour just stop this dough being very sticky. As you can see as well, the bowl is clear, so all the ingredients are all nicely combined. We've been kneading this for 5 minutes. It's got a beautiful gloss to it. This we're going to cover with a little lid like this, or with some cling wrap, some saran wrap. Put it in a warm area for about 45 minutes until it doubles in size. The kitchen, we have had some time and our dough has risen quite nicely. It's doubled in size. Okay, so flour your work surface and out comes the dough. With a knife or with a pastry scraper thing, just chop this into 4 pieces. Next up, we're going to shape these and get them ready. You don't want them to be any bigger than the base of your pan because that's the cooking surface, so bear that in mind when you're shaping these. Okay, so we have some flour on the board and I'm just going to push these around, kind of stretch it out a little bit. Once you got it into the shape, there is no specific shape it needs to be. We're just gonna a little bit more, keep it on the board here with a little bit of flour, and we'll go on to the next one. So once all 4 are shaped, make sure they're nice and even on the sides. If you get a little bulgy bit, you can just push them down. We are just gonna cover them with a towel and give them about 5-10 minutes just to rest. So we're over by the stove. We're gonna start cooking these naan breads. So put a little drizzle of oil in the bottom of the pan. Make sure the whole pan is coated on a nice high heat. And we're going to put this in about 2 minutes on each side and we'll cover it once it's in. So after a couple of minutes, we're going to flip this. Oh, look at that. And give it a couple more minutes. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. Both sides nice and browned. Crispy on the outside. You can still feel the fluffiness of the dough in the middle. That is perfect. So we're gonna cook the next one. Woo! And while that one is cooking, we're gonna brush this one with some melted butter, and you can sprinkle something on the top. We've got everything but the bagel seasoning. I have a lovely red wine in rosemary infused salt, so that is going to go on this one. You can use garlic powder, you can use onion powder, chives, anything you want on these. So there we go, one ready. We'll keep cooking these and we'll come back for the taste test time. Alrighty, taste test time. Which one shall I go for? The salt or the everything bagel seasoning? Let's go with the everything bagel seasoning because it's on the top. Oh, I don't know if you can see how light and fluffy that is. Oh my god. There's a little bit of a crispiness on the outside, but the dough inside is cooked all the way through. Oops. It's so light and fluffy. Oh, that is really good. Let's taste the other one as well with the salt, with the rosemary red wine salt. Yum. So, I'm going to go and find a curry that I can eat these with. I wish you a very good afternoon from the Cottage Pie Kitchen. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.